Hello there everybody and welcome to today's video, the first video in a while, 13 days to be exact since the Burnley vlog. Thank you for the 88 views and the 6 likes, it's highly appreciated. It's clear to me that people enjoy the vlogs than any other video that I do, which is understandable. I watch a lot on YouTube. I like to say, you know, vlogs, not just Newcastle based, but other stuff as well, like European games and whatnot. So thanks for that, but we had to get right into the video. So we'll start off with who are Newcastle bringing in, who are Newcastle bringing out. So bringing in, for me, a good couple of centre-halves, what we need. Botman, sounds like Batman, plays in the French league, plays for Lille. Obviously, to get into that Lille side, that takes a lot. That shows you a lot. Obviously, he's still young, early 20s. He looks a good player from what I've heard of him. You know, I read a lot of articles about a lot of players that come in and out and get linked and whatnot. And this one seems like he is going to be signed in January. Same as Kane Trippier, who we'll talk about later. But next, Malang Sarr. Now, I think he's only played a couple of games this season, hasn't he, for Chelsea? I think he played against Brentford, kept a clean sheet against them. First, he's played. I think has he not played any European games as well? I think he has. I think he's played in a couple of European games as well. Sorry if that's incorrect, but he looks good though. Obviously, he came from a free agent from Nice. They're that good. French team where St. Maximin came from. So he looks a good centre half that we can bring into the team. Obviously, he's young as well. Lyle Kelly from Bournemouth. Obviously, he's still quite young, 23 years old. He's got Premier experience as well. Obviously, Bournemouth haven't been in the Premier for a couple of seasons, but when they were, well, Kelly did play. Bournemouth had a good start in the season in the Championship. Obviously, when I record this today, Bournemouth just got beat 1-0 by Middlesbrough. I don't know whether he was playing that game. I don't really track Bournemouth, but yet again, he's young. He's early 20s, 23, so good into that. English. So getting in some good youth there. Some young 20s and whatnot, in the 20s, which I think it's good as well. I think having youth in your team, you know, you see the impact it had with Lampard and whatnot, having players like Mason Mount, having players like Tammy Abraham, had Figo Tomori. Worked well with Lampard, but the thing is that it's going to work with anyhow, really. Hopefully it will. Next we have Jesse Lingard. So this is the midfield. We'll talk about the fullbacks. We'll discuss the midfield first. Next we have Jesse Lingard, who had a fantastic loan spell at West Ham last season. I think, what was it? He scored his debut against Aston Villa in what was it? I think it was a 3-1 victory for West Ham. Obviously, the link up between Antonio and Jesse Lingard, not just that game, but just in general throughout their season, was fantastic. I don't think he even scored. I think he scored a brace, didn't he? Where Martinez had a stinker. So, I mean, you look at that. That's a player for you. Who want, like, someone a bit like Lurk, who can bag you, who can give you consistent performances, because that's what he did. A lot of the time before West Ham, for the majority of the time, I mean, scored against Tottenham, scored against Aston Villa, scored against Newcastle. He was a big player for them. His goal-to-goal ratio, I think he scored nearly every game. He had a fantastic ratio. Goal ratio in terms of getting assists, goals, you know, just putting in performances. So he did really well in that aspect. Obviously scored the winner against West Ham this season as well, which is a bit of a madness. He's a good player. You know, these past couple of years, people have been saying that he's finished and whatnot. No, I don't think he is. I think if he can perform what he did last season with David Moyes and for West Ham, I think he'll be a key player to us, and I think he'll keep us up. Next we have Ross Barkley, a Chelsea player. He was on loan at Aston Villa last season, scored against Liverpool, obviously, and then scored against Southampton as well. So he made an impact to Aston Villa last season. When he's played Chelsea this season, he's done quite well in that aspect as well. Obviously, I think what most of the Southampton game, if I'm correct, made an impact there. He's a good player, is Ross Barkley. Done well at Villa. I think when he gets a chance at Chelsea, I think he does quite well. So I would happily buy him because I think he's a good relying player. And I think if we can get these players like Jesse Lingard and your Ross Barkleys and whatnot, I'm not saying you have to say both of these. It would be nice if I could, but I've also got to think about financial fair play as well, which hopefully we don't spend that much and then that happens and then we'll get sued, which is never really a place where you really want to be with financial fair play. It's one of those funny things, really. It's what happened at Chelsea, and they got a massive punishment, Chelsea. So you've got to look at that. Next, we have Donnie Van Der Beek, a player that we know has the quality. You've seen him at Ajax. Obviously, played in a Champions League final. And not just Champions League final, just the Champions League in general. That's such a big competition. Is the Champions League, and to play in Champions League final is absolutely massive. And I think he will have good impact under Eddie Howe. And I think if we can, and if we can start him like every game, really, we'll get some good consistent performances out of him. And I think with the likes of your Wilson, likes of your Maximan. Obviously, we're seeing him passing, tackling. He does well at that aspect. He's a very good underrated midfielder for me, and I think he'll work well with the attackers, and I think he'll work well with the midfield, really. And I think he'll be a crucial part why we'll stay up this season. But that's for Donnie Van Der Beek. We don't need to talk about his time at Man United. He's done nothing at Man United other than score against Crystal Palace, Watford. Really bang average teams, in my opinion. Had a very poor spell at Man United, but that doesn't mean anything, really. He was misused a lot of the time. Ollie had an agenda against him. We're all aware of that. So he's a fantastic player, and I'd have him in a heartbeat. Next, we'll have Kieran Trippier, someone who scored in a semi-final for England against Croatia. I'm sure we all remember that free kick. Someone who's played another player who's played in a Champions League final, won the title with Atletico Madrid. That's sort of big as well. Obviously, you've got teams like Barcelona, Real Madrid in there. So for that happening, that's massive. So he would be a very solid signing. Obviously, he knows what it's like to be at the bottom. Obviously, worked with Eddie Howe. He was at Burnley, believe it or not, Kieran Trippier. A young lad at that time. So, and a lot of pundits say, well, why would he want to sign for us if we are where we are? Because he's played at Turf Moor. He's been at that level before. It's the same with Eddie Howe. He's been at that level before as well. So I think you understand, and I think you'll get some good, solid performance out of him. Next, we have Zinchenko. Now, Zinchenko, I thought he was fantastic for me against Chelsea in the Champions League final. Thought he done very well in that game. I thought he controlled that backline brilliantly, and especially against a force like Chelsea and whatnot, who actually won that game, by the way, 1-0. Won the Champions League last season. He's not a consistent player for Pep Guardiola. He never chooses him. But it's hard to get that team when you've got like some of your Kyle Walkers, when you've got like your Joe Cancelos, John Stones, Emerick Laporte. So obviously it's finds that difficult to fit all these players in. I'm aware he can play in the midfield as well, but he's a fantastic player. I would have Zinchenko in a heartbeat. He would go for 10-20 million on the line to that. Fantastic player. Luca Dean, someone who Rafa has had a falling out with, supposedly. I think he's a fantastic left back for me, Luca Dean. I think he performed quite well under Ancelotti. I've had him a couple of times in fantasy. He's done quite well for us. And I don't think he even blanked a lot for us, really. I had him in for like 5 or 10 game weeks when he blanked. 2 or 3 times, which isn't bad for a FBL fullback. Loves an assist, loves a goal. I think defensive wise he's decent as well. I think he's a good, decent left back. I would happily have him a heartbeat. Not going too well for him though at Everton. No, it's not. Right. Now we're here to talk about who to get rid of and who to send out on loan. Well, I mean, you've got Emil Kraft, you've got Dwight Gale, you've got Sean Longstaff, you've got Lascelles, Kieran Clark, Jeff Hendrick, and Mark Gillespie, and Elite Anderson as well, I believe, in there. And for me, all those players have been god awful this season for me, really. Shocking. I think Hendrick's the only one that's... No, it's not. Lascelles has scored, Hendrick scored, Longstaff scored. But that doesn't take on the fact that they've been bang average, really. I would sell Kraft. I would sell Dwight Gale. What's the point of having him? I would sell Sean Longstaff. He's been in the club for too long, and the performances that he's given for Newcastle haven't been good enough. Lascelles been awful all season, cost with 4 or 5 penalties. Kieran Clark, honestly, shocking. Jeff Hendrick. I don't think he's been as bad as of this season. He was terrible last season. Obviously scored against Wolves this season. Good goal. But when you get rid of him though, he's still shocking. And Mark Gillespie, who's a goalkeeper who doesn't get really much use, really. I had that stinker against who was it? I forgot who they were. But it was a team at the very bottom though, a League 2 team or a League 1 team, who we drew 1-1. Judges, I'm just going to scream at that game. But for me, and obviously you've got Elite Anderson, who was just sent out on loan, probably Championship team, League 1 team, somewhere similar like Cal Watts did. Obviously Cal Watts is our player all game at the minute. But yeah, that's my opinion on it, really. That's who we should buy in, brought in. That's who we should sell, send out on a loan. But tell me in the comments, or not tell me anywhere, really. Screen record this video and tell me your thoughts. Or however you want to do it. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making it. Honestly, I'd look in a bit further into which players we can bring in, which players we can sell, get rid of the deadwood. Hopefully that we can do that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in a jiffy.